What can you fit into the weight of a power bank? A GPS, a flight controller, a gimbal, 7 cameras, 4 motors, and the entire drone body. Take the DJI Mini 4 Pro. It has to stay below 249 grams because drones at above that weight require registration in many countries. The battery alone weighs about 78 grams, leaving just 171 grams for everything else. But weight is only the first problem. The real engineering nightmare was everything those 171 grams had to do. GPS wants the sky. It needs as much open space above it as possible because the drone's body and the metal structures can block or reflect satellite signals. But the Emu wants the exact opposite. It measures tiny changes in acceleration and angular velocity, but every vibration from the motors and propellers can contaminate those measurements. So the Emu has to be isolated. The downward-facing sensors have another demand. They need to see the ground. They rely on ground texture and motion to determine altitude and displacement. So the body can't get in their way. And then there's a gimbal camera. It needs the front of the drone and its own space to move, rotate, and isolate itself from vibration. The sky, the ground, the front, and the 4 motors shaking everything in between. 4 completely different physical requirements, all fighting for the same 249 grams. DJI stopped trying to squeeze everything into the same plane. They went vertical. An early version of this idea appeared in a DJI patent from 2019. DJI reorganized the entire drone along the Z-axis into a 3-dimensional vertical sandwich. Right in the middle sits the largest component, the battery. It's not just a power source. It also physically separates the system above and below it. Under the battery, see the flight controller, the heat sink, and the downward-facing optical flow and altitude sensors. And suddenly, the conflict starts to make sense. The major heat sources are separated. The downward-facing cameras get a clear view of the ground, and the components that need to see the sky are pushed to the top. The problem hasn't disappeared. DJI just rearranged the geometry of the problem, which was fighting for space horizontally is now separated along the Z-axis. But solving the space problem creates another question. What about weight? Because if every gram has to be there, there can be no dead weight. And this is where DJI really started to cheat the constraint. Instead of adding a dedicated ballast to the image suspension, DJI used the weight that was already there, the GPS antenna. In the conventional design, engineers may add extra mass to the image suspension, increasing its mass and inertia, so high-frequency vibrations are harder to transmit to the sensor. But that extra mass is dead weight, which solves one problem and does nothing else. And at 249 grams, DJI could not afford it, so they asked a much smarter question. What if the weight we already need could do the job instead? The GPS antenna already has to be there, and its ceramic structure already has mass. So why not make that mass part of the Emu's vibration isolation system? DJI integrated the GPS module and the Emu onto the same suspended board. They mounted the two together on a small floating board at the top of the drone, using silicon dampers to isolate it from the frame. The GPS antenna isn't just carrying its own weight anymore. Its mass and inertia are also helping isolate the Emu. One component, 2 jobs. And because the board sits at the very top, the GPS also gets a more open view of the sky, reducing obstruction from the drone structure. So the real trick isn't simply stacking components into different layers. It's making the same gram work twice. But solving the weight problem creates another one every engineer eventually has to face: heat. The traditional solution is simple: add a larger heat sink or add a fan. But on a drone under 249 grams, a fan also adds more weight. So DJI took a completely different approach. Don't add airflow. Use the airflow the drone already has. When the drone flies forward, air enters through the front, flows across the ESC board, which is the brain that regulates motor speed, carries heat away from the MOSFETs, which are the tiny power switches that handle massive current, and exits through the side vents. The faster it flies, the stronger the airflow, and the stronger the cooling. But what happens when the drone stops moving forward? It hovers, and that creates a second airflow. To generate lift, the propellers have to continuously accelerate air downward. That creates a downward moving stream of air beneath the drone, the propeller downwash. DJI uses that airflow too. Air enters through the bottom of the drone, passes across the folded heatsink, carries heat away from the flight controller, and exits through the side vents. So DJI ends up with 2 passive cooling paths. Forward flight cools the ESC. Propeller downwash cools the flight controller. No fan, no extra airflow generator, just airflow the drone already had to create in order to fly. And the pattern now should be familiar. The GPS antenna's mass helps isolate the emu. The drone's own airflow cools the electronics. Nothing new gets added. Everything does more. That's a real engineering challenge behind 249 grams. Not making every component as small as possible. Making every component, every gram, and even every stream of air do a second job. The secret of 249 grams isn't escaping the law of physics. It's making the law of physics work for you. So, was DJI really cheating physics? Not really. They were treating the 249 gram limit differently. Instead of seeing it as a number to beat, they treated it as a constraint to design around. Because when you have almost no room for error, every decision matters. Every gram, every millimeter, every airflow, nothing gets to exist without a reason. So 249 grams isn't just a weight limit. It's a test of how much engineering you can pack into every gram. So here's a question. If you were the one designing the drone, would you have made the same choices as DJI? Thanks for watching. I've picked 2 more videos for you on the screen, which I think you will enjoy. I'm Justin, thanks for being here, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.